Welcome back, everyone. I'm Steve Washburn, Executive Director of Convergint's Digital Transformation Team at Convergint Technology. If you're just watching this for the first time, I'd encourage you to go back and start at the beginning of this series, where we talk about digital transformation and what we can do to help your business. Today, I'm joined with Tony Alexander, one of our business development managers, to take a deeper dive on what this future looks like for our customers. Tony, welcome.
Thank you.
Could you give us a little bit of background on yourself before we jump into the conversation?
Sure, Steve. So my name's Tony, obviously. I've spent the last 8 years with Convergint. I was actually recruited out of college, if you can believe that. And I was one of the first Convergint development program members who came in out of college and spent some time at our corporate headquarters, and then I transitioned to a sales role within our Minneapolis office, CTC, and I spent all of that time really working with enterprise and global types of customers, and then I transitioned into this role about 18 months ago.
So when we talk about security as a service, what do you think is really driving the market demand or interest for this new idea about outsourcing or providing managed security services to our customers?
Yeah, Steve. So I really think it comes down to three things for most customers. Number one is risk. The world is changing, risk is changing in the environment, and they're really trying to keep up with that changing risk. Number two is that they're looking for a better user experience. Traditionally in the security market and security technology, it hasn't provided really the user experience that most organizations are looking for, especially when they think about how simple life is, when you're just using a video doorbell at home with Ring or something like that, right? They want that simplicity. And then number three really is, and we're seeing this all over the world, is a labor shortage. And they're looking for better ways to resource and still provide those types of user experiences and lower their risk.
So how is that security as a service offering starting to address, and I don't care which one you pick, is it the risk quotient or equation for a customer? How is that helping with that? Maybe even like the user experience example, right? Because to me, being in this industry for a long time, remembering analog video and all the complex things that we had to do with that, and today, the thing I hear over and over again is I want something simple, easy, and by the way, it always has to work. So maybe talk about that simpler user experience and why that's really creating so much interest for our customers.
Sure. So maybe an example will help.
Yeah.
So I'm wearing my favorite branded watch. Let's call them Company A.
Right.
Well, this Company A, what's the way that they go to market? They go to market with, it just works. It just works, right? They don't necessarily have the best processing technology. Don't necessarily have the best in class over here, over there, right? It's all about that user experience. It just works every time you put it on, turn it on, whatever, right? And I think that's the way that this market is shifting and what we're really trying to bring to our customers.
Well, to that point specifically, and you're trying to, kind of watch the terms and uses that words that we use, and I appreciate that. But one of those experiences is, digital credentials or mobile credentials, specifically in Apple Wallet, right? Because for the longest time, our industry has been trying to crack this nut where we can get away from these plastic PVC cards, automate that whole workflow, the assignment of a credential, and really do it so it works reliably every single time.
Absolutely.
And I think that Apple Wallet experience is really the next evolution as to how that's going to look or feel. And I know we've had a number of conversations with some different customers on that. So maybe talk specifically about that example and why it's of such interest.
Absolutely. So I think mostly when it comes to that type of look and feel, number one, it's a great user experience. Think about when you board a plane, right? Nobody prints out a ticket anymore. Maybe some people do. You can still have that option, but nobody's really printing out tickets. It's going directly to your phone, and it's a seamless experience boarding that plane, right? And oh, by the way, it's secure and all the other things. So first of all, it's user experience, but number two, it's providing a more secure credential, unhackable, better time when you put the phone next to the reader. No additional software that has to sit on your phone, right? And also it integrates with all the other things that can drive other experience things across multiple different layers of your IT technology in your environment.
Well, and that gets into your point about limited resources, right? Because we can automate that whole workflow from when a employee comes on board, when a visitor is scheduled to come onto the site, and manage that all the way through, and also tie that into background checks, all those other types of things to, again, amazing user experience, automated workflows, and what better risk profile for our customers?
Yeah, so Steve, I just want to give you a quick example of something that I think ties really tightly into that. Two examples, both very similar use cases, trying to create a better user experience around credentialing, around creating that plastic badge, right? Number one, leveraged cloud in order to automate their onboarding process. Number two, leveraged mobile credentials to drive that automated onboarding process into their Apple Wallet. What was the business impact of that? They reduced their overall operations and services that they had to provide in order to create that credential by 90%. It's amazing what that can do in a customer environment.
You know, Tony, I'd like to talk more about that, but we're running out of time. So let's stop this right here. Go to convergint.com/DT, log in, get more of this information, and we'll talk about this specific example back there. Thank you.